This is the complexity of what we call the wicked problem, because we know there is no silver bullet that's going to give us the solution to poverty, to health inadequacies, to inadequate education, violence, or environmental degradation. Even microlending, which has been held up by so many as the solution to poverty, has lost some of its luster. Just last week, we saw in the New York Times article a number of giant microlenders who have gotten into this field for both the lending at a high rate of interest, 126 is one of the highest, and profit building on that program. As supporters of women's leadership, we never insisted microcredit alone would fix it. And it's our funds in the field who are doing microcredit, microloans, because they're doing it right. They're doing it surrounded with other services. They understand the complexity of the problem. We need to bring it back to that understanding. The spotlight in development circles is now truly on investing in women and girls, and no one knows that challenge more than those of us in this room. We must seize the moment and show that we indeed have answers. Last year we talked about an integrated approach, what I call a wicked problem, which is how many social policy thinkers and innovators talk about a problem with multiple solutions, conflicting solutions, complexity that's often hard to see a way through to. Such a term is familiar to those of us who've watched the status of women and girls go 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. For example, for the first time in decades, the number of women around the world dying each year from pregnancy and childbirth has declined from more than 500,000 in 1980 to 342,000 in 2008. However, in the United States, the number of women dying from pregnancy and child-related births has doubled in the past 20 years, predominantly in low-income and African-American communities. Globally, women and children make up 70% of those living in abject poverty. Yet in 2008, 99 women billionaires were recognized, 16 up from the year before. 70% of the $41 trillion in wealth transfers in the next 50 years are expected to go to women. In terms of education, there are 118 countries worldwide that have achieved gender parity. Yet that 2/3 of the nearly 1 billion illiterate people around the world are women and children. At work at the nexus of our human security framework is a response to the wicked problem. We both understand and base our practice on the logic model, now being lifted up by the World Bank and the UN, that an economically secure woman needs an economically secure family, a woman with education, a family with education. Bottom line, what it comes down to, and simply put, families and communities are more secure when women are more secure. And women's funds have long experience with that logic model. Very few have our experience of funding with a gender lens, which puts the motion of the women's effect that supports women and girls, solution building and leadership, into practice around the globe. Our framework for theory of change allows us to look at our work and do big thinking. However, seizing the moment, we need to think about how we can widen that framework, make it stronger, capable of guiding us to the next place.